So students, before we start with the discussion, just a quick recap of the summary of the poem. That how the poet Robert Frost, he talks about the change, or we can say that how change is the law of nature, right? Man's mood and spirits change like the change of weather. Of course, हम जब हमारे जो mood swings होते हैं, बहुत frequently बदलते हैं ना? And in the poem, the poet is in a depressed and hopeless mood. And he feels that the whole of the day has been wasted. But unfortunately, ऐसा नहीं है. Suddenly, as he was standing under a hemlock tree जो है, एक poisonous tree है with white flowers on it, he was standing under that tree. And as it was a wintry day, the snow dust particles were on the tree, on top of the tree, everywhere over the branches. So what happens is that suddenly a crow came and perched on the branch, and because of this action of the crow, some dust particles of snow, the snowflakes, it fell over the poet. So the falling of the fine dust of snow on him brings a sudden change in his mood. He realizes that not all is lost from the day, and there is still hope for redemption. Redemption कहते हैं compensation को, right? So अभी भी कुछ hope है compensation का. No doubt, he says that a large part of the day has already been lost. It has been rather a bad day so far. But now a part of the day has been redeemed, and the change of the situation has changed his mood. So cheerfulness had replaced the feeling of regret, क्योंकि वो पहले उदास थे. वो कहते हैं कि किस तरह से he was feeling sad, depressed, and felt that the whole day has been wasted. But then there was a change. And with the falling of the snow over him, he felt his spirits uplifted. He did not feel the depression anymore. He found himself in a cheerful mood, and thus the sudden change outside cheers his heart and mood. बाहरी सराउंडिंग में जो बदलाव आया, उसकी वजह से पोएट के अंदर भी एक बदलाव आ गया. So how he talks about changing the way of perception at the things, right? So let's discuss the questions, and then I will also discuss few things which are very important from the point of view of this poem. So here we have the questions, and I want you to participate. So you should raise your hand to participate. The poem presents a moment that seems simple but has a larger significance. So compare this other quotation from Robert Frost. Always, always a larger significance. A little thing touches a larger thing. That's how we refer to the things which have great significance in life, but even a smaller thing can bring great changes in our life, right? Now, how has the poet expressed this concept in the poem? I hope now that part is clear. So I want to take a few responses from you, that how the poet talks about the importance of simple things in our life having larger significance. Yes, let me have some responses. Vani, answer the question.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Yes, ma'am, it's true that small things can make a person happy. In this poem, the poet's nature was the poet's mood was changed just because of a crow that sat on the tree, and the snow shook on him. This changed his nature. Uh, Although the helmock tree and crow are not a good significance in the context of the poem.
They are considered as bad omen in life. So although these things were having a negative impact on the poem, but then suddenly these things only brought a change in his mood. Okay, chaliye, good interpretation. Anything else can be added? Gurnoor Kaur. What do you want to say here? That the moment that seems simple, they have a larger significance. Kindly add your views. Giving examples, can you cite any examples from your own life or from surroundings to justify this statement?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, in the poem, we see that how the poet was having a bad day, and he was sitting surrounding the nature, and there was a hemlock and hemlock tree and crow, which are considered a bad omen. But when the crow sat on the hemlock tree, the falling of the dust of snow, that is the falling of the snowflakes on him, changes his mood from sad or depressed to happiness.
Yes.
So yes, the importance of simple things bring larger significance. From my side, yes, I also do believe that simple things bring larger significance. uh, for example, they there was a time when I was having a bad day, and I was sitting in the park, and a child came to me, and he was playing, and he had just seeing his smile, the smile on his face brought my changed my mood from sad and depressed to happiness, and I also started to play with him.
Yes.
So yes, simple things do bring larger significance.
Wonderful, right? So see how he has presented nature. So taking examples from life, very simple ones, how he had justified that these simple things do have larger significance in our life, right? Thank you, both of you. Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 1 here. What is a dust of snow? And what does the poet say has changed his mood? How has the poet's mood changed? It's a simple, you can answer the things together. So let me see. Yes, Rishika, Hanji beta, answer the question.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
The dust of snow means the flakes of snow in the poem. The sudden shower in the form of dust changed the poet's mood. The poet's mood changed from sad to happy. As the dust of snow fall on him, he felt refreshed and wanted to enjoy the rest of the day.
Yes, correct answer, right? So dust of snow means the fine particles of snow or the snowflakes. And this dust of snow changed the poet's mood. And the poet's mood changed from that of dismay to joy. He was in a depressed mood. So he was holding that the day in regret and that the day had been wasted. But when this dust of snow fell on him, the simple little thing brought a smile on his face, brought joy in his heart, and his mood was uplifted, right? Chaliye, next question. How does Frost present nature in this poem? Following questions may help you think of an answer. So, सबसे पहला है, what are the birds that are usually named in poems? Do you think a crow is often mentioned in poems? What images come to your mind when you think of a crow? Now, there are 3 parts. I want first the answer of the first one. What are the birds that are usually named in the poems? Yes. Yes, beta, who's there? Jujhar, answer the question. Jujhar is not there. Yes, Khushi, aap answer dijiye.
The birds that are usually used in the poems are woodpeckers and sparrows, owls, etc.
Okay, any other response? Daman is also there. Daman, आपको क्या लगता है किस तरह के पक्षियों का जिक्र होता है ज्यादातर और क्यों ऐसा होता है? Daman, answer the question. He's not there. Suhana Bindra. What are the
Yes.
birds? हाँ जी बेटा, yes, continue.
एक बर्ड था नाइट एंगल, वो एक बर्ड होता है या ऐसे कुछ होता है?
Bird है बेटा, it's a bird.
तो मुझसे मेंशन कर सकते हैं नाइट
Of
एंगल्स?
course, of course.
ओके।
Read the question again. You will understand what is being asked there. What are the birds that are usually named in the poems? ज्यादातर कभी आपने देखा है क्रो का जिक्र होते, कभी आपने देखा है आउल के बारे में कोई कविता लिखते? ऐसे पक्षियों का जिक्र क्यों नहीं होता और क्यों उन बर्ड्स का जिक्र
के
होता
बारे
है?
में एक पोएम पढ़ी है मैं, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर द पोएम, पर वो
There are
बताता है कि आउल
poems,
कितना weird
but
होता है।
not many, not many. Yes, Suhana, what is your point of view? हाँ जी.
The other birds that are used in other poems are sparrows, pigeons, peacocks, etc.
Please repeat. आपकी आवाज आई नहीं clearly. Yes. सुहाना. Arshpreet
Yes,
Singh.
ma'am.
Yes, बेटा आपने जो कहा मुझे सुनाई नहीं दिया clearly. Can you repeat what you have said right now?
Yes, ma'am. I said that birds, the names of birds that are used in other poems are sparrows, peacocks, pigeons, etc.
Yes, yes. So when we see all these birds, we actually feel happy, है ना? ये जो peacock हो गया, sparrow हो गया, right? So जो birds, those are beautiful. Those are never considered to be bad omen. So those kind of things are basically used for the poems, right? But here see how the author, he has presented the nature in its raw and natural form. अब नेचर में जरूरी नहीं कि हर खूबसूरत चीज है, चीजें वो भी है जिनको हम बदसूरत मानते हैं, पर ऐसा नहीं है. एवरीथिंग हैज इट्स ओन ब्यूटी, राइट? सो नेचर जो है, पोएट ने एक अनकन्वेंशनल मैनर में नेचर को इस पोएम में यूज किया है. सो व्हाट इज दैट अनकन्वेंशनल मैनर? जब हम अदर नेचर पोएम्स में देखते हैं तो वी कम अक्रॉस बर्ड्स व्हिच आर लाइक नाइटिंगेल, स्पैरो, peacock, right? All those birds which actually make us think in a positive manner. But Frost has used crow in the poem. Crow, which is usually something dark, black in color, है ना? हमें उसका रंग देखकर ही अच्छा नहीं लगता है, उसकी आवाज सुनकर अच्छा नहीं लगता है, right? So that way, but other poets they usually mention about singing nightingales. जो nightingale की आवाज है बहुत मधुर होती है, ठीक है ना? White doves, beautiful white doves, जो white pigeon होते हैं. So they ignore these kind of birds like crow. But what Robert Frost has done, he has taken an unconventional manner of nature here, right? उन्होंने crow को चुना है. And then on the other side, he has taken a tree which is poisonous. अगर आप पेड़ लोगे तो आप सुंदर फूलों वाले पेड़ को लोगे, सुंदर खूबसूरत पेड़ जहाँ अच्छे अच्छे फूल हैं, या वो पेड़ जो आपको अच्छी छांव देते हैं. अब ये जो हेमलॉक एक पाइन ट्री की तरह का पेड़ है जिसपे जहरीले फल उगते हैं, वो जहरीला पेड़ है, राइट? नाउ he has not written about maple, oak tree, a tree symbolizing beauty and happiness. Again, he has chosen an unconventional thing here. He wanted to symbolize the feelings of sadness and regret, which is why he has used the tree hemlock here. So hemlock को sadness, depression, regret से जोड़ा गया है, crow को bad omen से जोड़ा गया है, again bringing sadness in life, right? लेकिन इसके साथ साथ उन्होंने इन चीजों को एक पॉजिटिविटी से जोड़ा है, and he is trying to tell us that how a change of perception can bring a lot of change in life. Now, when he was standing under the hemlock tree, what happened suddenly? The arrival of the crow and alighting on the top of the tree made the mass of snow fall upon the poet. So here एक ironical सा जिक्र लगता है of mention of the crow and hemlock tree, but these things have brought actually cheerfulness to the mood of the poet. It has gladdened the heart of the poet. So this way we see that how when we see poet Robert Frost जो है वो अपने poem में नेचर को किस तरह से प्रेजेंट करते हैं? रॉ फॉर्म में, एक अनकन्वेंशनल मैनर में, एक और जहां बाकी पोएट्स जो हैं वो मैपल ट्री चुनेंगे, ओक ट्री चुनेंगे, ऐसे पेड़ जो फूलों से लदे हुए हैं वो चुनेंगे, और बर्ड्स ऐसे लेंगे जहां पर नाइटिंगेल है, व्हाइट डव्स हैं, स्वैलोज हैं. He has taken a crow and a poisonous hemlock tree because he wants to convey this message that even these insignificant things, although these are not insignificant, we consider them to be an insignificant, unimportant, inauspicious in our life. And a small incident, very insignificant incident, can even bring a great change in our life. So what is the great change here in case of the poet? His mood is uplifted and he realized that the whole day had not been wasted, because earlier वो क्या consider कर रहे थे कि सारा दिन बर्बाद हो गया, nothing came out of the day and he was feeling sad. But उस पल पे उन्हें ऐसा लगा कि नहीं, ये जो मोमेंट है ये मेरा खुशी से भरा मोमेंट है, एंड ये मोमेंट उस सारी चीजों को रिडीम कर रहा है, कॉम्पनसेट कर रहा है जो इससे पहले वो महसूस कर रहे थे. Is it clear, students? I hope this answer is clear to you all. जी, इसी के साथ अगर हम सेकंड पार्ट लेते हैं इसका क्वेश्चन का, तो देखिए पोएट क्या सवाल पूछ रहे हैं. सॉरी, क्वेश्चन क्या है? So what is a hemlock tree? Why doesn't the poet write about a more beautiful tree such as a maple, oak or a pine? I have justified it again, but still I would like you to repeat it क्योंकि मैंने अपने आंसर में इसे justify कर दिया है. So I want who's there? Just a minute. Srishti Malhotra, kindly unmute and answer. What you have understood? Answer the question 2. Srishti Malhotra.
Ma'am, the poet has mentioned a hemlock tree, that is a poisonous plant having small white flowers. He didn't choose to like a maple and a pine or a oak tree that symbolizes beauty and joyfulness. Instead, he chose the hemlock tree while leaving aside all the beautiful trees of nature to represent his sadness and regretful feelings.
Yes, and apart from that, that how a small incident related to these elements of nature, that is hemlock tree and crow, it brought a change in his life and also change in his perception. जीवन में चीजों को देखने के नजरिए में भी बदलाव लाया, राइट? चलिए, and the third part here. So yes, what do the crow and hemlock represent? Joy or sorrow? What does the dust of snow and the crow shakes off a hemlock tree stand for? G. Shivani, answer the question. Third part of this.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
The crow and hemlock tree represent the sorrow because
Yes, because they are inauspicious symbols. हम ये word कह सकते हैं. If you're not getting the word, चलिए continue करिए. They are inauspicious.
they're auspicious because a hemlock tree is a poisonous tree and
हाँ जी. Continue करिए. So poisonous tree है तो उसके साथ इंसिडेंट कौन सा रिलेटेड है वही आपको एक्सप्लेन करना है, यही पूछा है. क्रो का शेकिंग ऑफ द स्नो जो कि हेमलॉक ट्री पर है, उससे क्या होता है? व्हाट डज इट स्टैंड फॉर? मैंने ये आंसर में आपको क्लैरिफाई कर दिया है बेटा. जस्ट ट्राई टू रिमेम्बर, रिकॉल व्हाट आई हैव सेड राइट नाउ.
the dust of the snow.
चलिए कंटिन्यू करिए. हाँ जी.
The dust of the snow and the hemlock tree means passing through the sad and depressing moments. The poet is and now the poet is now the poet is very happy and
Yes. See, you are not able to answer. That is why I'm repeating the same thing again and again. It's very important that you learn how to justify an answer. इस पूरी कविता में छोटा सा thought ही continue हो रहा है. But you need to put the answer the way the question has been put. So सबसे पहले आप बताओगे crow and hemlock क्या represent करते हैं? Joy या sorrow? Sorrow. And then what is the next question here? The poet here is asking that what does the dust of snow that the crow shakes off a hemlock tree stand for? It stands for what? Who will tell me? It stands for the change that is brought in the poet's mood. That a small insignificant thing has brought a change in the poet's mood, the upliftment of the spirit that is happening there, how the cheerfulness replaces the deep sorrow in the end. Right, Bete? So you need to understand how you are going to answer the question. Okay? So he represents these crow, hemlock as an auspicious one, and the shaking of the dust of snow. When it falls on the poet, it changes his dejected mood and saves the day from being spoiled. Finally, at the end of the day, the poet, he feels that his day has not been wasted. Okay. Now the last question here. Have there been times when you felt depressed or hopeless? Have you experienced a similar moment that changed your mood that day? This is simply totally your part. So I'm just skipping this. But apart from that, I want to discuss a few more questions here. So please listen carefully and answer that question. Why does the poet say that he had saved some part of the day I had rued? Why does the poet say that he had saved some part of the day that I had rued? Only one hand. Vani Dhingra, yes beta, आप आंसर दीजिए. आप कैसे इसे justify करोगे?
The poet said this because after the snow shook shook down on poet from the hemlock tree, the poet's mood changed, and he felt that his day is no more wasted.
Okay. So first you will explain this part, that how when the poet was standing under the hemlock tree, he felt gloomy, dull, hopeless, and he also felt that the whole day would go waste. But suddenly the action of falling of the dust particles over his shoulder, it brought a change in his mood, right? So it cheered his depressed spirit. He felt as if now some part of the day has been saved. Okay, your answer is correct. So when we talk about the message conveyed through this poem, what is the message conveyed? Sayam, what is the message conveyed? Yes, Sayam, answer the question. There are 24 students here, but still only 2 are raising hands. Sayam, you don't know the answer? Pranav Setia, kindly give the answer. Message, आपको क्या समझ आया है? ये poem Dust and Snow हमें क्या message convey करती है? Pranav Setia. Manik Khurana. Manik Khurana. Madhav. Answer the question. Madhav. Yes, Moksha.
And I don't know the answer.
Why you don't know, beta? From yesterday मैं एक ही बात बार बार दोहरा रही हूँ. इस कविता में आपको कुछ नहीं समझ आया? अगर आपको समझ नहीं आया है तो आपके doubts and queries कहाँ हैं? You are coming to the session every day and you don't even put forward the questions that ma'am I have this doubt, and when the teacher is asking you say I don't know the answer. What a straight way of giving a reply. You are not even giving a try कि कुछ बोलने की कोशिश करता हूँ, गलत होगा तो कोई बात नहीं, I will correct it. Yes, Moksh, answer the question.
The message conveyed in this poem is that all the positivity first comes from the negativity, a small change of positivity can make the whole day. A simple a simple a simple act of goodwill can inspire others.
ओके आपने जो एक लाइन कहा ना कि ऑल द नेगेटिविटी कम्स फ्रॉम पॉजिटिविटी, इसे ऐसे नहीं लिखोगे, है ना. यू कैन से दैट ही इज ट्राइंग टू गिव अ वेरी पॉजिटिव मैसेज एंड टॉकिंग अबाउट द नेगेटिव थिंग्स कि नथिंग इज गुड और बैड इन लाइफ, है ना. हम इसको इस तरह से ले सकते हैं. चलिए, एटलीस्ट यू ट्राइड. आंसर इज ऑलमोस्ट करेक्ट, रॉन्ग नहीं है, बट यू नीड टू इलैबोरेट अ लिटिल मोर. तो चलिए मैं नेक्स्ट लेती हूँ अर्शप्रीत से. यस बेटा, मैसेज कन्वे. अर्शप्रीत. अर्शप्रीत, आपने हैंड रेज किया है, काइंडली अनम्यूट.
I have raised the hand for giving the answer.
हाँ बोलिए, मैं आपसे आंसर जानना चाहती हूँ.
Ma'am, this poem conveys the message that whenever we face a failure, we should not be sad, and in the nature, the small things also give us positivity to
Bring
to get
positivity in
happy
our
and
life. Yes.
try
हाँ.
again.
Okay.
To get happy and try it again.
Okay. ठीक है. Anything else? Okay. ठीक है. It is correct. More can be added. Whenever you are writing a message, little bit reference to the textual part is also to be given. ठीक है. हाँ जी. शिवानी बेटा, can you add more to it? What is your point of view? Message conveyed.
This poem conveys the message that we should never lose the hopes, because there is always an opportunity to change our mood from sad to happy.
Okay. ठीक है. चलिए, accepted. खुशी.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Add your views.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Ma'am, I want to say, with a change of perception, everything can change. It's just the perception of the poet and the things that changes his mind, that changes his views and makes him cheerful.
Yes, the change of perception brings a lot of great change in our life. We need to change the way we see at the things. Yes, Vani beta, what you want to add to it?
The poet conveys us the message that small things can make us happy, so we should stay happy in our life. In the poem too, the poet was not happy before, but after the snow shook on him, his mood changed and he became happy, and he felt that his day was not wasted just by a small snow which shook on him. He felt his he became happy.
Yes, correct. So finally, how you need to justify it? So you need to first start with what the poet is trying to convey. So the poet Robert Frost, he tries to convey that even simple and ordinary incidents have great significance in our life. Nothing is good or bad. It is only our thinking that makes it so. Best things we can say in life are free of cost. Life is full of problems, obstacles. We should try to solve them rather than sitting and regretting. He adds that yes, depressions, hopelessness do cloud our hearts, spirits and moods. हमें उदासी आती है, उम्मीद हम खो बैठते हैं, तो ये जो है हमारे दिलों पर, दिमाग पर छा जाती है. But as it is said always that there is a silver lining beyond every cloud, है ना. उम्मीद की रोशनी हमेशा होती है. So then you will add about the poet here, that how the poet has also given up all his hopes and he declared that the whole day would go waste. But then suddenly what happened? That with the coming of the crow and perching on the tree, the snow dust fell on him and it brought a sudden change in his mood. Cheerfulness replaces the feeling of regret. So this poet is actually conveying us that we should try to solve our problems, face it boldly rather than sitting and regretting it. So here how he understood that how to take the adverse situation and work for a better in life. उस छोटे से इंसिडेंट ने उनको समझाया कि अभी भी दिन खत्म नहीं हुआ है और ये जो खुशी का पल है वो इस खुशी के पल को बहुत बेहतर तरीके से जी सकते हैं, तो उन्हें रिपेंट नहीं करना चाहिए, उन्हें इस वक्त को उदासी में नहीं गुजारना चाहिए और इसलिए वो अपने आप को एक पॉजिटिव मूड में लेकर आते हैं दैट यस उनका पूरा दिन भी वेस्ट नहीं हुआ है. एटलीस्ट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे he was able to get a moment of happiness where his spirit was uplifted and he was not feeling sad anymore. Right, beta? So this is very important part of the poem, the message conveyed. आपको clarity होनी चाहिए. दो symbols को use किया है, crow and hemlock tree. So crow and hemlock tree, they are considered as inauspicious, bad omen. Crow black in color है, उसकी आवाज coarse है, ठीक है? And then hemlock tree जो है, it is a poisonous tree with white flowers. So these are considered as inauspicious, symbol of being inauspicious. And then on the other side, he has used imagery. He has taken the image of crow, hemlock tree and the snow even. इन इमेजेस के साथ वो एक ऐसी पिक्चर हमारे सामने क्रिएट करते हैं जिससे वो हमें बताते हैं कि कैसे छोटी छोटी चीजें भी हमारे लाइफ में बहुत बड़े बदलाव को ला सकती हैं. All right, students, so this is all about the poem Dust of Snow, right?